I've been to several events of Delhi University organized by students, but this is something students always look forward for. Career counseling, Google is there, ChatGPT is there, and there are so many internet resources to understand what are the next steps. But still, when some counselor comes in, she or he comes in with an experience from the industry directly. Was professor of physics and electronics in North Campus College in my initial career journey. And my objective was always to make my students understand what next after physics, because everybody was what next, and it was in mid 90s. I have a LinkedIn post regarding the same, posted yesterday. In those days, there was no internet, there was no sharing of resources, what to do next. And what I found that most of the professors would only encourage to go to research, and research is not something everybody is looking forward to. But now we are lucky that we have internet, we have Google, we have so many avenues. Plus, the education policy and the landscape of corporate is changing so very fast in these days because of advancing technology every day. Every day, technology is changing at a very high pace. And obviously, corporates will inculcate this technology. And as we all know, the buzzword is AI. AI means artificial intelligence, and everybody is scared. Will AI eat up all the jobs? Will AI make, because there are so many interviews of Elon Musk and other leaders from America who keep on saying that there would be no jobs after 5 years. Humans don't need to do any job after 5 years. But they are not explaining this sentence. What do they mean by humans would not do any jobs after 5 years? To understand first which course you are
And
pursuing.
there are a mix of students,
Mhm.
BBE, BCom, and a lot of other courses.
Okay, fine.
So the
That's
majority is BBE and BCom.
great. Fine. So this is BCom honors.
मैम प्रोग्राम टू एंड ऑनर्स दोनों कोर्सेज है
दोनों courses हैं.
लाइक मिक्स्ड है सारे कोर्सेज.
Correct. So, guys, one thing is very sure that after, we know in our families, since ages, science has been taken as the topmost career. That if you are in sciences, then either become an engineer or become a doctor, and then in late 90s, it become either you become an IT software personnel, and you are successful. Things are no more like that. Plus, in those times also, nobody gave commerce such an understanding as it in today's world. Commerce is something no industry can survive without. What is commerce? Commerce, everybody knows, is money management. Do you think any company can run without knowing, without knowledge, without expertise of how the money or how the profit and losses, how the investments, how the expenses should be managed in a proper legal compliance way? So it's only the commerce students or students with the knowledge of strong commerce and finance background who can handle this and beat any company. See, engineers or doctors are required only in a segment of companies. But commerce graduates or students with finance and commerce are required in every company, be it a small company, be it a big company. So you have chosen a wonderful subject. First thing, I should congratulate you. You are already on a path to growth. So my next thing is everybody in commerce now understands that CA is the topmost uh, profession, which is renowned, reputed, and everybody knows that pass percentage of CA exam is very low. And reason for that is that playing with numbers in proper way, in a legal compliant way manner, so that companies do not suffer any losses or any kind of heartbreak because of the fact that somebody sitting at that system did not know how to play with those numbers. If not CA, then what for a BCom honor student or a Similarly for a BBA student or BBE student. So I would like to share my presentation in this, as Arnav has already told and your trajectory has already told. Today is this presentation is all about career map for commerce and management graduates. Next steps after your bachelor's, and I understand today's students are either from first year or second year or final year. For final year students who have already made their minds up, it would be kind of something extra. And for first year and second year, it would be kind of guidance that what to do till you finish your bachelor's. There is still 2 years or 3 years, 2 years left, I should understand. So in these 2 years or coming summer vacation, what you should do in order to be ready for the industry. See, today's corporate world is all about who is ready to join. So, are you ready to join? Is this degree enough for you to make available for the job? Because in job training happens also for those people who already have some skills. And it is not difficult nowadays to do some courses online. Free also, there are some courses, Coursera, Udemy, or YouTube, which gives you free courses and some paid courses. Next slide, yeah. So first thing comes that prepare a strategy for your career paths, which career you want. And when we say prepare a strategy, it means you need to design your career roadmap according to current situation. The current situation can depend upon what kind of timeline do you have before starting a job. Do you have 6 months in hand? Do you have 1 year in hand? Do you have 2 years in hand? Or it doesn't matter, your situation is such that you can study endlessly. Second comes the finance point of view. How much are you willing to invest into further education before you actually start earning a stable income for yourself? Third is what kind of roles are you looking when you enter the corporate? So that is also very important. Everybody wants to be a king, but it's not possible. To become a king, one needs to do a lot of hard work, understand the process, step by step, raise in the ladder, and become a king. So I will again, divide these kind of timeline, cost, and role into three major parts. Keeping in view that we today are talking about masters versus professional certificates. So one pathway is after BCom or BBA, you jump over to the master's course as a specialization. For example, for BCom, it would be MCom. For BBA, it would be MBA. But MBA is such a course that anybody and everybody can do. So that is also labeled as master's course for all of you. And the other thing is professional certificates. What kind of, I will keep commerce and finance as a core target or focus. So, what are the professional courses that we can do after our current degree of undergraduation? Then, as I told you, what is the time horizon from 6 months to say 2 years in broad ways? And what is your budget? So, professional courses can be low cost, can be high cost, depending upon which kind of professional course and from where you are doing. Master's course again depends upon tuition fees plus residential costs and which kind of institute you are pursuing it from. So you have to weigh out the return on investments, what you are ultimately achieving, whether it is helping you to get up on your career ladder or not. Again, if we say masters, so what do you get in a MCom or an MBA? MCom, we all understand, is again a further academic path. After BCom, you take some papers, you study them in details about finance, about accounting, taxation, research skills. And in India, it is generally of 2 years, or you go for MBA. And MBA now is about how to run businesses, business management in broader sense, but there are specialization nowadays available in MBA, whether you want to go to the marketing field or you want to join a human resource team or you want to do sales and management, you want to do finance, you want to do real estate business, you want to do operations. So there are specialization at the end or in this final year of MBA. Generally, these, if you are going to do apply for very high rated MBA institutes, for example, IIMs, ISB, or IITs in India, or if you are applying to some foreign university in UK or USA, then you need 1 to 2 years job experience. It can be full time, it can be a part time job, it can be an internship with a company to understand. Basically, when we do internship, we understand how a corporate setup works, how a particular department works, what are the hierarchy levels, how the project moves from one step to another. So, that is the basic idea of how the corporate works when you do an internship. You don't learn a particular skill, but you get used to the corporate world. So now I talk about professional certificates which students can do, and these professional certificates can be done by a BBA student, can be done by a BBE student, BCom students. Particularly, talent and HR is for all, project management is for all, digital marketing for e-commerce is for all. But for finance students or BCom students, most important courses are finance modeling and valuation, then risk management, then SAP, FICO, or Tally, or advanced Excel kind of software tools, GST certification, CFA. These are mainly BCom honors focused student courses. I understand that you know about a little bit about each one of them. If you want me to explain a little on some of these, please tell me.
Yes. Ma'am, it would be better if you could explain more about financial modeling and all.
Okay, fine. Wait. It is going. Yeah. So financial modeling and valuation is used when big companies invest into other companies or when some companies acquiring another company. You must be hearing a lot about mergers and acquisitions, that the company X has merged into company Y, or company X has acquired company Y, or company X has invested Y amount of millions of dollars into company Z, right? How do they do this? Which is the team behind this? Of course, there is a CA, but there is also a person who understands financial modeling and valuation, because they will compare numbers, the success of the company, the assets of the company, the balance sheet of the company, the profits, the revenues, payrolls, everything. They will map it into numbers and compare the same numbers with the numbers of the other company and understand how much to invest, how will this be profitable, how, and then the valuation of company is done. So whether this company in which they are investing, how much worth it is to invest, how much should be invested in this company. So that is called financial modeling and valuation. And there are several private and players who are giving this kind of courses. It varies from 1 month to 3 months course. If you go to a normal private player, then they are giving it in up to 20,000 to 30,000 1 month course. If you go to a better, well-known player like CFI, then they are asking a big money, because they are foreign company, and they are giving financial modeling and valuation course of 6 months, and their fees is bit high, and this is really in demand. So all the big companies, they do check whether you have financial modeling and valuation certificate in your CV or not. It's really helpful. So for example, talent and HR analytics, when you apply for a job, your CV is first of all handled by an HR personnel. HR means human resources, who is a very specialized person. Any engineer, any BBA, BCom, master, MBA can get a role into HR. Now, HR needs to understand what is the ongoing salaries in the market, also hold the grievance addressal systems. They also put many policies in workplace at place, for example, POSH policy, that is prevention of sexual harassment, which is mandatory in each Indian company. They also have, anti-bullying policies. They also have work balance policies, how much they also check which person is taking too much of leaves or which person is not. So they keep a record of how much leaves, how much a person is coming late to the office, how many times a person is going early out of office, whether a person is doing the given project on the given timeline or not, and to set up the payroll at the end of the month. These are all, and then recruitment. So HR has further many specialization, and as the company becomes big in size. So there can be different recruitment cell and there can be different payroll system for a big company. Not a single person can handle everything. MBA in HR is one kind of specialization course where you understand, and then there are further courses like SHRM kind of courses where you become specialized in HR. So for this, you don't need to, go through any finance kind of thing, but awareness of legal things. If the policy goes wrong, if the company is asking person to work beyond what is governed by the labor policy, if the person has been harassed, all these kind of things come under HR. So they need to be very well versed with the policies and legal compliance. CFA is Chief Chartered Finance Analyst, which is a 3 year course, which is very popular nowadays. And CFA is organized by a foreign company, and it is a 3 level course where each level's fee is around 1 lakh rupees. If you do not pass it in one first attempt, you can give it again, and again you have to submit the same amount of fees. This is generally for investment banking and wealth management kind of specialization, and Goldman Sachs kind of companies need CFAs for their operations. Then there is project management, which I think everybody of you understand. Risk management is how to understand if a company is working, what kind of financial risks are there, and to mitigate those risks. There is again a professional certificate course, which is about 1 month to 3 months, and again given by many kind of players. Some coaching institutes like Wall Street or Quint or IMS, they give these kind of courses. SAP, FICO, Tele, Advanced Excel, again short-term certifications, which help you work on these softwares, because all big companies have these systems in place and somebody needs to be very well versed with these softwares to be able to work. GST certification, as we know, India is implying GST for every product and service. So if you know, if you have this certification, ICI gives 10 days certificate course to GST, which is available on either weekdays or weekends. And cost is just 12,000 rupees per plus GST. So you can obviously either work with some CA's office where GST is being taken care of by you, or slowly, after some years of experience, you can start your own clientele. GST is not going anywhere as of now, and GST is highly in demand. If I am running a registered consultancy, even my GST has to be filed every month, whether I earn or do not earn. GST is mandatory every month. So this is a comparison between what is the cost, duration, what is the level of difficulty,